we had finished with 10 sutras of Narada Bhakti Sutras. 10 of them were over. We had to do the 11th one. So in this section over here, the teacher was telling us the characteristics and the nature of renunciation. That's where we were. So he said right in the beginning that devotion is nothing but renunciation itself in another form. The primary characteristic of devotion, bhakti, is renunciation, vairagya. How can bhakti, wherein we are attaching ourselves to the Lord, be equivalent to vairagya? We saw the meaning of vairagya over there. Vairagya is V plus raga. So that V stands for without. So without raga. Without raga means without attachment. Without attachment to all things and beings which are worldly. V also stands for Visheshena. So Visheshena raga, special or unique, exclusive attachment. Towards whom? Towards the higher, towards the Lord. So therefore bhakti and vairagya are both the same. It's like two sides of the same coin. Then afterward the teacher indicated to us, again he went in detail to explain to us what is the nature of vairagya. The characteristic of bhakti is vairagya. What is the characteristic of vairagya? We should know what renunciation means. We should know what vairagya means. Therefore he told us vairagya includes ananyatva and udasinatva. Two words have been used over here. So again we should know what ananyatva means and what udasinata means. So over here in the 10th one, which we had just gone through in the last class, the teacher explained to us what ananyata means. Anya means other. So ananya means no otherness. No otherness when we are practicing our bhakti or our love towards the Lord. In all of us, the love that we practice is very, very conditional. There is always a utility value over there. There is a transaction happening over there. So I is there, mine is there. We go to the Lord for this and for that. So it's all conditioned love. Very often we see people around us, and maybe we also have been a part of it, wherein we say, I asked of the Lord this, I asked of the Lord this, I performed all these vratas, I did engage myself in bhakti, in puja, in worship, but this did not happen to me. Whatever we wanted has not happened. And therefore what happens, we over there again fail to accept it, and then we say, I do not know, I practiced bhakti towards the Lord, but nothing happened. I really do not know whether it has got strength, whether it will really do good to me. All those doubts will come, questions will come. So therefore, and then our whole faith in the Lord shakes up. All these things happen. So therefore the teacher told us over here what exactly constitutes ananyata. This word comes very often in the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavan demands of us bhakti, but what type of bhakti? Ananya bhakti is what he wants us to give towards him, give to him. So no otherness should be there in it. It should only be he and he alone, exclusive love only towards him. Anybody else, can I invest a little bit of my love? No. That's what the Lord demands from all of us. And also in our lives, we know we always take the support of, we take the help of things, beings in the world. We know it's very difficult for us to survive without taking the support of things and beings. For everything we need something or a person in our lives. And it is mutual also. We depend on so many things and so many beings. In turn, other people also depend on us. Here in Bhagavan, in the 10th, the Acharya over here, in the 10th Sutra told us, Anyashrayanam Tyagaha Ananyata. So what is Ananyata? He very clearly told us. He told us Tyaga. Tyaga means again to give up. What should I give up? To say, I am practicing Ananya Bhakti towards the Lord. Anyashrayanam Tyagaha. completely and totally and exclusively to give up all other supports to which we are hanging on to. There are infinite number of things to which we are holding on to which we are hooked on to. And there are infinite number of people, again, to whom we are hooked on to, attached to, we lean on to, we take the support of. Bhagavan over here says to give up all of them. We have to drop all of them. Tyaga, to give up. What should we give up? Give up all support system which we have till now been taken into our lives, taken the help of. All those support systems should go away. Then whom should I ask for support, or whom should I lean on to? Whom should I take as my support? Because in our lives, we want some support. Bhagavan says only I should be your support. So absolute one and only exclusive single support, he should be in our lives. Lord, you are also my support. Can I take the support of anybody else or anything? Bhagavan says no. That means it's not real bhakti at all. So therefore, to give up all other supports in our life. I lean on to this, I lean on to this, I depend on this, I depend on that person. All of that has to drop in our lives. And finally, who should be our support? Bhagavan alone should be our only and only support. That, he says, is ananyata. So this is where we had stopped in the last class. Now udasinata also the teacher has to explain to us. So what is udasina? Udasina means indifferent. A little bit we went through in the earlier class also. It's not the indifference that we are all familiar with. Anything can happen to the country. Why should I be bothered? Anything can happen to the society. Why should I be bothered? Anything can happen to our neighbors. Anything can happen to anybody. Why should I be bothered? As long as I am all right. That is our type of indifference, which we are all practicing. It's not that. That is very, very negative indifference over there. Here Bhagavan is not talking about that sort of an indifference at all. So what is udasinata according to the teacher over here, according to the acharya over here? Sutra number 11. He says, Loka Vedeshu tad anukula charanam tad virodishu udasinata. So udasinata, indifference means these things. What all is it all about? He says, Loka Vedeshu. Earlier also this word had come. Loka Vedeshu. What is a renunciation? When the teacher was telling us in Sutra number 8, he used this Loka and Veda. He said, Nirodastu Loka Veda Vyapara Nyasaha. So those two words Loka and Veda had come. What is renunciation? Renunciation is Nyasa. Nyasa means to give up. What all should I give up? Vyapara. Vyapara means our transactions. What all transactions should we give up? To say, yes, I am a renunciate, I am a vairagi, and therefore I am a bhakta. Loka Veda Vyapar. Loka stands for all secular materialistic activities. Veda stands for all religious and spiritual activities. All of them we should give up. So should we give up when we are practicing our bhakti towards the Lord? Should we give up all our religious duties, rituals, our yatra, our puja, our vratas? We'll see that later. So we should not misinterpret that word Veda over here. This Loka Veda Vyapara Nyasaha is for the highest type of devotee. Somebody like Adi Shankara, who is a Parama Bhakta as well as a Parama Jnani. For him it stands. Loka Veda Vyapara Nyasa is given up everything. Materialistic activities also given up. And why does he need to practice anything also? We are all practicing our bhakti because we want something from the other side, from Bhagavan. Even to see him, to reach him is a desire for which we are practicing our bhakti. He has already reached the peak. He has already reached the goal. He has become one with the Lord. So when Jivatma and Paramatma become the same, where is the sadhaka? Where is the goal, Bhagavan, and where is the path over there? Therefore, in their cases, even Veda Vyapara, reading the scriptures, attending satsangs, performing our rituals, going to a temple or for a yatra, performing all our vratas. For them, it doesn't mean anything at all. It's all null and void for them. Redundant it has become for them. Why? They have reached the highest. Once we have taken up the examination and finished the 10th standard, a student has finished and cleared the 10, why should she again study the 10th standard books? Should she again take up the exam? No. Nyasa over there. So for a person who has already finished the 10th standard, taking up the 10th standard examination again and reading for it is redundant. But for an 8th standard and a 9th standard child, it doesn't hold good. So therefore over here we should be very careful and we should not misread into it. So over here when the teacher is saying renunciation is giving up all transactions or all activities with respect to Loka and Veda, it means for the person who has already reached the highest state, not for us. We are all in the elementary preliminary stage over here. So same word has come over here again. So what is udasinata? Loka Vedeshu. Loka again means materialistic activities, secular activities. Veda over here means spiritual and religious activities, whatever it be. It can be in the house, in our puja room, or it can be in the temple, or it can be in an ashram, it can be in a pilgrim center, it can be anything. An individual ritual, small little puja, a chanting, a waving of the arati, or it can be the vratas. Anything it can be. So, Loka Vedeshu tad anukula charanam. So, we should engage ourselves in all secular and religious activities. So, this is for us over here. And anukula means aligning with. Very, very convenient for what? Convenient towards whatever we are desiring in our life. What is it that we are desiring in our life? We desire the Lord. We are practicing our bhakti because we want to reach the Lord. So whatever it is, that is anukula, which aligns itself on the path of devotion, our path of devotion towards the Lord. Whatever it be, whether it is secular, whether it is materialistic, or whether it is religious, or whether it is spiritual, we should take it up. Is what this sutra is telling us over here. So it's all clarified over here. But anything that is tad virodaha, which is not anukula but pratikula, means it will not help us to pursue our religious path, our bhakti marga. It will become hurdles over there, it will become challenges over there, it will become obstacles over there, and it also may be a diversion for us. We were walking the spiritual path, the bhakti path, the path of bhakti. We have taken a diversion and gone away, we have gone astray. Far, far away from the actual path, we moved away from it. So again we have to come back to it, it will take time. Which means we are not aligned to it, we are disaligned ourselves. So whatever is virodha, opposite of it, which are not suited for our path, our bhakti marga, towards that udasinata. Being indifferent towards it means we don't engage ourselves in all those activities, that's all. That itself means I am in a state of udasinata. So whatever we do in our lives, in the house, in the kitchen, in the puja room, or in the temple, or in our office, because Loka and Veda, Vyapara, activities which are materialistic and activities which are religious also, all of them we have to check up whether they are anukula for us, whether they are favorable for us. They should act like a catalyst for us. It should help us to pick up speed. It should help us to accelerate on the path of bhakti, which we are slowly walking. That is called anukula. But somehow or the other, whatever we are doing for whatever reason, it doesn't help us to walk the path of bhakti. It's anti of it. It is hostile towards it. It is not anukula, but it is pratikula. The teacher over here is warning us, don't enter into such activities. Whatever it is, materialistic or religious, he is saying over here. It will take you away from your path, from the path of devotion that you are walking to reach the Lord ultimately. Therefore, udasinata means a little an indifferent. An indifference means we refuse to compromise. Very often we compromise, and that's the problem for all of us. In the beginning, we say, I will not compromise. I will be very strict. I will be very honest, consistent. I will be regular. I will be sincere. I will be. And we have started our journey slowly, step by step. But slowly what happens? So many temptations come, diversions come, distractions come. We then recognize that it's not a very comfortable path for us to walk. It's not very easy also, difficult path it is. Even the path of love, it's very difficult, though it is supposed to be the easiest. So what happens? Slowly our attention will move away from everything. Therefore the teacher is warning us over here, which means we have to be very, very alert. It can be a small little activity, insignificant. After all, it's a small little activity. I don't think it will take me away from the path that I've been walking. A small little. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, Bhagavan says in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Just the mere thought of anything, Vishaya Vastu, sense object, just to think about it. And how did we think about it? Because it came in front of us. Till now it was not there. We saw, for whatever reason, we saw that beautiful, enchanting object in front of us. It invited us. We see it, we say it's nice, fine. All nice things need not be in our life, need not be in our house. And then we should come away, we should drop that over there. Yes, it's nice. But what do? We keep thinking about it. It's so beautiful, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. So we keep on thinking about it. That means we are not indifferent towards it. Indifference means we just drop it over there. Every day, how many things we are seeing, how many things we are hearing, what all comes into our nose in the form of smells, fragrances, what all reaches our tongue in the form of taste. So many things are there. So we should learn how to just drop it there itself. But what do? We come back and we keep thinking about it. Even if the object is not there in front of us, it can be a thing or a being. We keep thinking about it again and we repeat that thought. When the thought starts repeating in our own mind, the frequency will pick up. In 1 minute, in the beginning, I was thinking about it 2 times. Now, after 10 minutes, in 1 minute, I am thinking of it 100 times. So, the frequency of thinking of that same thing will increase. When that happens, Bhagavan says in the Gita, you will get attached to it. Mentally, we will get attached to it. So, Sangha will happen, attachment will happen. Then we will start desiring for it in our lives. And once we start desiring for it, object is 100 people want that object, so 99 people will be disappointed because one object can only reach one person. So what happens to the other 99? Jealousy will be there, anger will be there. He says Krodha will come. Anger. We have seen it all in our life, small little things. I did not get, but she got. If I don't get, she also should not get. But she got it, which I wanted so much. What will be the emotion in our mind? We will never say, never mind, she got it, it's all right. Better luck for me next time. We will never say like that. We will be very angry with that person. It need not be ourselves. It can be our children. Till yesterday, we were friends with a neighbor. Both our children went for the examination, 10th standard. And our child did not get good marks, but her child got very, very good marks. Next day onwards, we become enemies. Anger is there. I don't want to see her face again. So many instances are there. All this we have gone through. So Krodha will come, and then slowly when Krodha comes to us, the fumes of anger will completely veil our discrimination, our buddhi in us. Memory system will be switched off over there. It will fuse. And then what do? We do all the wrong things in our life. Fall, immediate for us. We are not talking about physically falling over there. Spiritually we will fall. And the realization that even we have fallen will come after a long time. Then again to get up is so difficult. So therefore over there Bhagavan says indifferent. Whatever comes in front of you, let it come. You see, you hear, but then don't allow it to disturb your mind. If we don't allow all the sense objects which reach us through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin to disturb our mind, we are in a state of indifference. Nobody need know that we are indifferent. They will not even know it also. This is a different type of an indifference which the teacher is talking about over here. So in the 11th sutra, what is indifference has been indicated to us. Whatever activity we take up, again physically, mentally and intellectually, whatever activity we take up, in the house or outside the house, materialistic or religious, it should all help us on our path to God realization, towards Ishvara Darshana. But whatever it is which will not be Anukula on the path to God realization or Ishvara Darshana, he says over here, practice indifference towards them all. Or that itself is indifferent, to turn away from all of them, to turn away from everything that is pratikula in our journey towards the Lord, and to take up only things, even if they are materialistic, to take up things which are anukula on the path. That's where karma yoga will come in. Bhagavan said, do whatever you are doing. In the Gita, he is not telling us to drop everything and run away to the Himalayas or become, Parama Vairagi, take up the sannyasa ashram, the last ashram, give up your family. He is not telling us to do anything at all. He is saying, whatever, stay where you are. Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna to stay where you are in the war field, don't run away. For all of us, stay where you are. Continue to do whatever you are doing till now, which means we need not have to change anything. How many people say, oh, to become spiritual, maybe I have to change so many things. Maybe I have to remold myself. I should drop doing some certain things and I have to pick up doing certain things, performing certain things. Nothing. We just keep doing whatever we were doing till now, till yesterday and till now. Only Bhagavan says over there, change the attitude. So whatever we have been doing till now, most of it is materialistic only in our lives. So he is not telling us to give up anything materialistic, but he is saying make it all ankula to walk the path. So which means all our work we continue to do, but we change the attitude with which we are working. If we do that, our very work we are doing will become worship, irrespective of where we are. We may be in the office, we may be in the marketplace, we may be in the kitchen. So therefore we are not in the puja room or in the temple. Bhagavan says, never mind. All your karma will become a yajna. All your karma will become a worship of the Lord. So therefore automatically we are aligning ourselves to the path of bhakti over there. Karma and bhakti are ultimately all paths are the same. So that's what the teacher tells us in the 11th sutra. So slowly we are practicing over there. Again in the 12th sutra over here, the teacher is telling us about what a Parama Bhakta should be doing or should be engaging himself in. Because 2 times it has come, Loka Veda. And in the first one, especially when he talked about renunciation, he said, Loka Veda Vyapara Nyasaha. So therefore, very often we can misinterpret it or we can misunderstand it. And say everything the teacher is telling us to give up. What all is he telling us to give up? Materialistic also he told us to give up. And religious things also he has told us to give up. How easy? You will feel very, very happy. Tomorrow onwards, no doing puja, no doing this, no doing namaskar, no lighting the lamp, no offering flower. Festivals will come. It's all for us it's all very difficult for us. So much of work. So the teacher has told us give up everything. So therefore we have to read it properly. What he is talking about is, the entire Narada Bhakti Sutras are addressing at two levels. The teacher over here is addressing us also, who are walking the path, or who are just yet to start walking the path. As well as he is talking about those who have already reached the path and fulfilled themselves. So over here in the 12th sutra, the teacher is saying, Bhavatu Nischaya Dhadya Dhurdvam Shastra Rakshanam. Bhavatu Nischaya Dhadya Dhurdvam Shastra Rakshanam. Bhavatu means to become. To become what? Nischaya Dhardya Dhurdvam. Having committed ourselves totally to a life as indicated by the teacher in the last 11 sutras, which means we have started walking the path. It also talks to a person who has already reached the path also. To both of them he's saying. So once having committed yourself wholeheartedly towards the Lord, means we are practicing wholehearted devotion, Ananya Bhakti, unconditioned bhakti, exclusive, total, complete bhakti or devotion towards the Lord. And once we have started practicing it sufficiently long time, we have committed ourselves, so we are sincere, we are regular, we are convinced also, conviction is there in all of us, then what do? He said, then do Shastra Rakshanam. Shastra means the scriptures, Rakshanam means protect. So do Shastra Rakshanam, two ways we can interpret it. All of us who are still walking the path, Shastra Rakshanam means we must implicitly follow the Shastras. How can we do Shastra Rakshanam? How can we all who are just walking the path do it? For us to folloh or to practice what the Shastra is telling us, to follow and practice what the teacher is telling us itself is Shastra Rakshana over there. We are doing Shastra Rakshana means I am following, means valid, I am giving it authenticity. I accept the authenticity of it. I accept the authority of it. So that itself is a protection over there to the Shastra. I am convinced that it is real. I am convinced that it will take care of my yoga and kshema. I am convinced that it will do good to me if I follow it. Itself is an endorsement of the Shastra over there. So Shastra Rakshanam over there. So therefore, all of us, where at whatever stage we are on the path of devotion, the teacher says over here, your commitment is towards Shastra Rakshanam, protection of the scriptures. Protection of the scriptures for all of us is to implicitly obey the Shastras and walk the path. So the Shastra will tell, scriptures will tell us what to do. Scriptures will also tell us what not to do, what to do and what not to do. Implicitly we should obey, we should follow it. In the Bhagavad Gita again, Shastra Pramana Bhagavan says over there, whatever you engage yourself in, check up the Shastras. Does it endorse what you are doing? Does it say, okay, yes, you are on the right track? How to find out? Shastras. Or our teacher. Because teacher is one who will endorse, who will help us to understand the Shastras and will help us to practice what is there in the Shastras. So that itself is Shastra Rakshana. So every time, whenever we are going to do something, any activity, external or internal, physical, mental, intellectual, wherever we are, we must check up and see if the Shastras endorse it. Is the Shastras, does the Shastra allow me to do it? Does it say this is okay, this is okay, this is okay? And if you perform this particular activity, you are aligned to the path of Dharma. Does it say or does it not say? So the moment we check up with the Shastras and then walk the path, we are protecting the Shastras. That's one meaning. Another meaning is those who have already reached that highest state. All our masters, our sages, our prophets, all the great devotees saints, whose lives we have read. So many of them are available for all of us. Shastra. After having reached the highest, after having had Ishvara Darshana, what are they doing? They are doing Shastra Rakshana only. Means they come back to us. They come back to be with us. They mingle with us. And they share the scriptural knowledge with us. Which means they are also protecting the Shastras. The Shastras will never ever go extinct. Why? They are there. So that's how it gets maintained. They have reached. Now they don't need the Shastras at all. Why should a master pick up the Bhagavad Gita book again, or why should a master pick up the Viveka Chudamani or any book, or the Narada Bhakti Sutra? He has reached the highest, he has merged with the Lord completely. They become fulfilled. They have reached that highest state, having reached which there is nothing for them to do. Yet when they come back to us, they and the Shastras are one. So whatever is there in the Shastra is what comes out of their mouth. So they take satsangs, they take discourses, they are very busy amongst all of us. And what is it that they are doing? They are only talking what the Shastras have got. What the Shastras indicate, what is there in the books, in the scriptural books, is what they are sharing with all of us. So automatically, Shastra Rakshanam is happening over there. They are protecting the Shastra. That's how, through thousands and thousands and thousands of years, our immortal, eternal Dharma is just being maintained. How many civilizations, how many cultures have come, beautiful ones, stayed for some time and disappeared. Whereas ours has not disappeared, it will never disappear. So the Guru Shishya Parampara will keep it going on. So at our stage also, yes, we are doing Shastra Rakshanam. At their stage also, those who have reached the highest, they are also contributing to the Shastra Rakshanam. And also, how do they live? They have reached the highest. All freedom has been given to them because they have reached the state of absolute freedom. Mukti, moksha has happened to them. But still, they will never ever take a wrong step in their lives. Why? They will still follow the Shastras only. They need not do, even the Shastra dare not lay down any rules for them. But still, whatever is there in the Shastra, they will conform to it. Why? They become role models for all of us. If they follow the Shastras, they need not. But if they follow, we also will follow them. They set up the standards for all of us. After having realized, they sit and with the mala and they are chanting the Lord's name. They are doing japa. They need not do it. But it is all for us. So they also will be, therefore, why are they doing it? Because we need a role model in our lives. So they all become role models. They will set up the standards for us. We see them and then we start walking the path. Therefore, it becomes a huge responsibility. Not that it is a huge responsibility on them. For them, it is natural. It's not difficult for them at all. It's natural for them. For us, it is difficult to strictly follow the scriptures. For them, it's natural. And why are they doing it? Because it's all for us. We are all observing them very keenly. We are observing them. And therefore, they also will remain within the limits over there. They need not, but still they will remain within the limits. And then they will conduct themselves. Therefore, they are also, in that sense, protecting the Shastra. That's how the Shastras slowly, all our scriptures have come down. Those days there was no print. Those days there was no paper. And yet, we have all our Upanishads. We have all the beautiful scriptures. How did it all come down? Even before it was all written down in those palm leaves. It was all handed over from the Guru to the Shishya, from the Guru to the Shishya. Then the Shishya, he becomes the next Guru. He hands it over. That's how the Shastras were maintained. It's a very beautiful, wonderful tradition that we have. So therefore the teacher over here is telling us, do Shastra Rakshana. Narada is telling us all this. Narada has already reached the highest. Bhagavan has also given him the title in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter, Bhagavan said, amongst the Deva Rishis, I am Narada myself. What more do we want? What more Narada wants? He has reached the highest. He has already fulfilled himself. Yet, why is he talking about bhakti? Why is he going in between everywhere? In the Puranas, he comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. In and through all the beautiful stories, which are not just stories for us. In and through the stories, we can read in the Advaitic concept over there, the significance and the suggestiveness over there. All the scriptures are there in our Puranas also. And Narada is very much a part of all of that. What is he doing? He is doing Shastra Rakshanam only. He need not do anything. He is already realized. He is always with Bhagavan. And yet, we find him the most active person. He is a visionary and a missionary also. He just will not keep quiet even for 1 second. He is there wherever the devotees are there, guiding them, advising them. He creates beautiful situations for devotees. Beautiful one, wherein their glory will become enhanced, so that when we read their stories, it will inspire us and it will motivate us. So therefore, Shastra Rakshanam, the 12th Sutra in the 13th one. But why should we do? Okay, we all should do Shastra Rakshanam, means we must implicitly obey the Shastra. Why should a man of realization, a Jivan Mukta, why should he do Shastra Rakshana? One thing is, we have already seen. He is doing it for preserving them all, maintaining it all. Because the future generations will need it. And also, how does he conduct himself? He conducts himself, his life as laid down in the Shastras. Why? So that it becomes a role model for us. What will happen if we don't do Shastra Rakshana? What will happen to us if we don't follow the Shastras? What will happen? The teacher is telling us over here in the 13th Sutra. He says, Anyatha patitya shankaya. If we don't follow the scriptures, he says, Anyatha, otherwise means if we don't follow the scriptures, what will happen to us? There is a fear. Shanka means fear. Fear of what? Fear of patityam, fall. Patita means to fall. So there will always be the fear of fall for all of us. Because we can never ever understand where our mind will cheat us. We are very, very alert. We say, I am very alert, I am very vigilant. I will not allow my mind to take over and become my master. I am its master. So whatever I tell the mind, it should do. We are faithfully following the scriptures. So the do's are there, the don'ts are there, no temptation, nothing. But if we don't connect ourselves every day with the Shastras, if we move away from it, sometimes overconfidence, I know everything. Why should I read the Shastras? Why should I read the scriptures? Why should I read the Bhagavad Gita? I know everything, I am practicing everything, but the world outside is very tempting. So at some point of time, when we are not alert, when we don't stay connected with our higher knowledge, the teacher over here is saying there is a chance of fall. Again, the Purana, if we go into the Puranas, we will get so many stories over there. Even rishis can fall. It's not that the rishi fall. Ultimately, if we read all those stories, all adversity finally turns out to be a blessing. The rishi fell, he got tempted. But at the end of it all, it is all good for the good only. For the welfare of the world, for the welfare of the community. It would have happened like this. So it's not that the rishi fell or the rishi got tempted. We shouldn't look at it like that. But the chances are there for anybody to fall down, unless and until we have reached the highest. Once we have reached the highest and merged ourselves with the Lord, then there is no fall. Why? When we have become one with Him, means we have become one without a second. Why? Advaita. We have become one with Him means there is only one. There are no two. And Bhagavan is all pervading, therefore our Jivan Mukta Acharya is also all pervading. From where to where will he fall? For fall, we must have a higher level and a lower level. In him, there is no higher, there is no lower. He becomes Sarvam Brahmamayam. So even though a master, we see him with a body, with a form, we give to him a name, we give to him some characteristics also, from our standpoint, from our perspective. But a master has become one with the Lord, one with Brahman. He is Brahman himself. And what is Brahman's nature? It's all pervading. So therefore, for someone who is all pervading, who has expanded himself so much so that all the 14 worlds are within him, where is a higher, where is a lower? There is no higher and lower at all. For us, there is a higher, there is a lower, there is inside, there is outside. But there is internal, there is external. For our master, there is no internal, there is no external, there is no inside, there is no outside. For us, we have inner space, house space, and outside space. Why? We are the ones who put the walls. We put walls, we put a roof, we put a door over there, and we said, whatever is there inside the door is my inner space, and whatever is there outside the door is outer space. From space standpoint, there is nothing inner, there is nothing outer. Space is one. So from our standpoint, yes, differences are there. But from a master's standpoint, there is no difference at all. So there is nothing like inside, there is nothing like outside, there is nothing like higher, there is nothing like lower. We are all at some level in between. So therefore, we are trying to go up slowly, slowly, slowly. We are walking, putting little steps. We only hope that we won't backstep. And very often there is a chance of falling down. Why? We are there, we were moving up. Chances are we can slip and fall down. So for us, we are somewhere in the middle. There is a higher, there is a lower. For a master, there is no higher, there is no middle, there is no lower. From where to where will he fall? For a Jivan Mukta, there is no fall at all. So whenever we read the Puranas also, of all the great rishis, Brahma rishis, and when we read there a story wherein they were tempted or something, we should be able to read it in the light of the Advaitic concepts over there. We should go into the suggestiveness and the significance over there. And for all of us ordinary people, they're indicating, even if I have reached that state, see, I can fall. What to talk about us? So if a person who has reached that state, yes, they can fall. We can fall even more drastically. So there is a warning also for us. So all the stories that are there in the Puranas, we should read it the way they should be read. So in the 13th sutra over here, the teacher is telling us why Shastra Rakshana is very, very important for us who are walking the path of devotion and for a person who has reached that highest state. For both of us, yes, there can be a little fall. Spiritual fall. In the Viveka Chudamani, again Shankara very beautifully said, how can you describe what this type of fall will be? So what, if I fall, I'll get up again and again start walking. This Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa, those two shlokas in the second chapter also tells us how we can slip and fall down drastically. Finally, it is Pranashyati, not just Nasha, Pranasha, Pranashyati. Krishna uses the word. Total collapse of the personality. Spirituality we are talking about. Again to start walking is not going to be easy at all. We have fallen so much to such a low level. We have climbed up to such great heights. Again we have to start our exercise. It's difficult. In the Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankara very beautifully gives an illustration. He says, supposing you have a ball in your hand, small ball, children play with balls. It's a toy in their hand. So supposing you have a ball in your hand and you're standing on a flight of stairs, and the ball slips off from your hand. Not that we wanted to leave it, release our hold on it. It just accidentally slipped off. Which means I didn't know it just slipped off. I was not aware. If the ball accidentally slips off our hand, if it's plain ground, it will just fall, roll a little bit and stop there. We can pick it up. But supposing it accidentally falls on a flight of stairs, it will hit the first step. Gravitational pull, Earth's gravitational pull is there. So slowly it will pick up speed, velocity. So it will hit the first step, bounce back, and then will it hit the second step, chances are it will go on to the third step. And when it reaches the third step, it will be faster. And therefore there also it will bounce back. And then when it again starts falling down, it may not reach the fourth or the fifth or the sixth. It may land up on the 10th one because it's picked up momentum so much. It's on a flight of stairs. We find the ball so far, moving rapidly down. First step, then the third step, then maybe the 10th step, then maybe the 15th step, and then we realize that the ball slipped off from our hand. We want to catch it back. We want it back. We have to run down. By the time we also start moving, so we are moving down over there. That ball is nothing but our own mind. By the time we catch the ball, catch back our own mind, it would have gone down the entire flight of stairs, right down. Again we have to walk back. It's not so easy to again walk the spiritual path, which we are walking. The spiritual path itself is so difficult. We did walk a little bit, and when we slip, we don't slip back just a little, we slip back too much. Again we have to start our journey. Therefore a warning has been given to us over here. So let the Shastras always protect you. So anything where there is a question mark, to do or not to do, let's immediately go to the Shastras. Go to the Shastras means immediately let us go to our Guru, because Guru is an authority on our scriptures, and they will tell us what to do and what not to do, which means we will get protected by the Shastra. The Shastra will tell us what to do, the Guru will tell us what to do, and in that we get protected. It's a very beautiful sutra over here. So the 13th one, the 14th one over here. Lokopi tavat eva kintu bhojanadi vyaparaha tu asharira dharanavadi is a 14th sutra over here. It's just a summing up of whatever had already come over here. So the teacher is saying, Lokopi, whatever duties are there, whatever responsibilities are there for us to do, means materialistic included over there, spiritual also included over there, our rituals, religious, everything included over there. He says we must continue to do it. We all who are walking the path, we all should continue to do it. Why? As long as we are conscious, as long as we are aware. What conscious of what? Conscious of our physical body. So as long as we are conscious of the physical body, the teacher over here says all our worldly duties, in our various social contacts, inside the house, outside the house, we should all pursue it. Same thing Krishna says in the 3rd chapter also. Obligatory duties, he says. Niyatam kuru karma. Niyata karma means obligatory duty. Whatever we need to do, our duties and responsibilities towards our family, towards the job where we are in our company or wherever we are working, towards our relations at home, outside. So whatever, as long as we are conscious of the body, and we are of course conscious of the body, we are residing in our body and then we are transacting. So continue to do it. How to do it? Again, the teacher has told us. Everything should become anukula to walking the path of devotion. So that should be there in our mind. Teacher said do everything, do obligatory duties, I will do it, but how I am going to do it is my, to my liking. I will do whatever, I will do it the way I want to know. We must continue to perform our duties and our responsibilities, whatever needs to be done wherever we are, but it all should align itself. That's why Loka Vedesh is it. All should be aligned to walking the spiritual path. It should never be pratikula, it should be anukula. Because we all are in the realm of the body. We are all conscious of the body. I is there, mine is there. We can't ever say it's not there. So as long as it is there, he says continue to do it. Means we do whatever we need to do, our karma, but we should change it all into a karma yoga. We should change it all into a yajna. Do whatever you are doing, and do whatever you have to do, but convert it all into a yajna, is what the Lord is saying over here. Is what the teacher is telling us over here. So as long as we are conscious of our identity is still there. We have not reached that highest goal. Yes, but we are walking the path. The teacher here says continue to do whatever you have been doing. But do it all aligned to the highest. In the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, how many yajnas are there? He says everything that you are doing is a karma only. He says instead of doing it as a karma, do it as a yajna. And he gives one big list also there. If you are cooking, don't do it as a yo, my karma. Do it as a yajna. If you are eating, do it as a yajna. Anything. If you are breathing in, do it as a yajna. When we are conscious of it. That's where the pranayama comes in. We are consciously breathing in and consciously breathing out. Otherwise, it's going on in us. We are not even conscious of it. We are not even aware of it. So we can make that also into a yajna. Breathing in can become a yajna. Breathing out can become a yajna. I mean, we are aware of it. The moment awareness comes, even in that breathing in and breathing out, we are already on the path of yoga. So anything, we are giving something to somebody, make it into a yajna. We are accepting something from somebody, make it into a yajna. All these are social obligations. So he says, continue doing it. But make sure it's all aligned to the higher path. If anything comes over there which shows that it is pratikula, be indifferent towards it. That's what the teacher is telling us over here. But he says certain things will go on till the body. Now, for a person who is progressing slowly on the path of bhakti, when the person reaches the highest, becomes a Jivan Mukta, he has no duties, he has got no responsibilities. No social obligations for a master at all. So we can't question a master and say, why are you not doing this, sir? You are a realized person. Why don't you come and teach us something? Why don't you open up some good institutions? Why don't you do it? We can't tell him anything. We can't question him at all. So as long as the person has not reached the highest, yes, all these social practices, all should be going on. We should be doing it. But it should be aligned to the path we are walking. Once the person reaches the highest, he need not do anything at all. He may do, he may not do. Krishna says, there is nothing that I need to do, Arjuna, by doing which I am going to gain something, but still I continue to do. Now Krishna continued to do, but a master may continue to do some activities. He need not do anything. He can just sit quiet over there. We are told there are so many masters in the Himalayas. They are just sitting over there, realized whatever path they walked. Why can't they all come down and help us all, improve the society, give some lecture, discourses, help us all for our welfare, Shreyas? Why can't they come down? They will not, they sit over there. Are they not all obligated to help us? They are helping us just by staying over there. They are sending their spiritual vibrations towards us. They are helping us. They cannot but help us. But we are not able to receive it. Why? Our receiving set is not all right. Transmitting set is perfect. Therefore, we have to tune up. That's all we have to do from our side. But they are sending spiritual vibrations of peace, of hope, of beauty, of perfection, of knowledge. They are sending it out. We are the ones who have to catch all these things. So they are doing whatever they are supposed to do. It's not only by moving our limbs that activity is there. Just by sitting over there, they are helping all of us. Only we need to connect with them. But even for a master, the teacher over here is saying, certain things like eating, sleeping, bhojana, the vyapara is said. Bhojana means eating, adi means etc. They also, because they are embodied, they are in a physical structure. So therefore, as long as they are in a physical structure, the moment realization happens to them, Ishwar Darshana happens to them, realization happens to them, they don't quit the physical body and go away. Whether they are in our midst or in the Himalayas, they continue to stay in the physical body. As long as they stay in the physical body, asharira dharanavadi. As long as their body exists, certain things they also will have to do, will do. And what is it? Things like eating, sleeping. So there's a different sort of an activity over here. Here there is no I, there is no my. It's just that the body has to get preserved. So therefore, the teacher is saying certain activities like eating, etc., eating, sleeping, taking a bath, just because the master has realized, he will not say, I am completely disengaged from my physical body, I am totally detached from my physical body, I am no more the physical body, I have transcended it, therefore why should I give a bath to the physical body? Master will not do that. So there are certain things which they will continue to do till the physical body drops off. Like cleaning the body, giving it a bath, food has to be given. The body came, therefore they don't decide when to eat, the body has to drop off. When will it drop off? Nobody knows. So therefore till the body is there, it has to be maintained. How will the body get maintained? By the food. How will the body become refreshed, revived after an exhaustive activity? By sleep. So therefore the Acharya over here says, Bhojanadi Vyaparaha. All the transactions or the activities like eating, sleeping, taking a bath, etc. So many things are there. All of them will be Asharira Dharana Vadi. As long as the Sharira lasts, it will also last. The moment they drop off they have dropped off the body long back. They have transcended it. No attachment. Within themselves, they have dropped off their identification, but it is continuing to stick to them. So therefore, whatever it needs, they will give it. That too, they don't go demanding. Whatever comes into their life, yogaratova, bhogaratova. Whether food is there in front of them or food, it's for the Lord to make all the arrangements. And when the body is to decide, will fall off, it's again the divine will. So the moment till the body drops off, minimum they will take care of their body. How? By giving it food, by giving it rest, etc. Adi means etc. So this is the 14th sutra. The 15th sutra onwards, the teacher over here, Narada, which we will take up in the next class, 15th onwards for a few sutras, he will talk about the various acharyas. What do they think about devotion? So many rishis are there, masters are there. What is his opinion of devotion? What does bhakti mean to him? Sir, will you please explain to me what bhakti is? Another master or a rishi, what do you think bhakti is? Each of them has their own opinion. So how liberal our masters were, how liberal is our system. So much of flexibility given, so much of accommodation given to different opinions. All of them who don't have the same opinion, and no teacher has forced down any opinion on anybody. Bhakti means only this. That's it, and you have to accept it and follow it. Each one of them has their own interpretation. Each of them has their own opinion. All of them are right. That's the beauty of our tradition. So once a tradition allows new concepts to come in, as long as it is within the limits, Shastra Pramana should be there. Anything new if it aligns itself with the Shastras, it is so beautifully accepted. That's how they have remained for so many thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So in the next section, for another few sutras, we will see over here, each Narada will tell us, this Rishi thinks of bhakti like this Rishi thinks of bhakti like this Rishi interprets bhakti like this. So all of that we will see in the next class.